Dragi gledaoci, dobrodošli u još jednu epizodu emisije Diplomata. Moj današnji sagovornik je njegova ekscelencija ambasador Finske u Srbiji, Niklas Lindkvist. Your Excellency, thank you for taking the time of your busy day to speak with us and join us on our show.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm looking forward to this.
Of course, thank you as well for the welcome here. Now, your story, your diplomatic story in Serbia at least, begins in 2023, late 2023 when you've arrived. What moments in your career shaped your approach to diplomacy, and how did they all lead to this moment where you became the ambassador of Finland to Serbia?
You know, diplomatic careers are always spanning a lot of years, and because built into the careers is that you move every 3 or 4 years to different places. So in my case, I've been working in Helsinki, then in Moscow, then in New York, then back to Helsinki, then Moscow again.
So all over the globe.
Then in Brussels, yes, exactly. So you get a lot of different experience actually along the way. And that's sort of the idea with the diplomatic career, that you train yourself in different things, taking care of them. That's also very useful when you end up in more of a leading position like ambassador, because then you are actually responsible for all these things. So you need to know a little bit about everything.
Of course, you need to be the jack of all trades, as they would say. Now, ever since coming here, are there any significant shifts that you noticed in Finland and Serbian relations during 24 and 2025 as well?
I think the biggest change is probably that when I came, there had been a pause in our bilateral visits because of the pandemic that we had in the world.
Of course, yeah.
So during my predecessor, yes, there were visits, but of course there was a couple of years when we didn't have any. So I've been very grateful that during my time here in Serbia, my foreign minister has already been here twice. So she came in 24 and now in 25 again. And also other visitors. We had a foreign policy committee, we had a speaker of the parliament, and so forth. So there is a big interest to open up the relationship and open up the visits again after the pandemic.
Of course, that's great to hear, certainly. Now, Finland has been known for constantly promoting cross-sectoral collaboration in policymaking, which means involving all stakeholders, not just the government, but the businesses, NGOs, civil sectors, organizations, and other actors like such. Could this approach be applied to Serbia's EU accession process, particularly in fields such as environmental law and digital governments as well?
Well, I think this is really the core of Finnish society, that we work together on whatever we are doing. It's not the government that holds the leading position for the moment, but it's the whole of society that is involved in things. Yes. Not only the opposition, but also human rights organizations, civil society at large, also our business community. So everybody is actually part of this way of working together and developing our societies. So definitely I think that could be a good way to increase this in Serbia as well, because we have seen good results from it from Finland. I mean, it's very easy to understand what the benefits are, just starting with the resources.
Of course, yeah.
If the state has to do everything, it really requires a lot.
So this relieves the pressure, yes.
Exactly. So if you can work together with others, then they can do their part and the state does its part. If you have a good cooperation, then you can split. Somebody does one part, somebody does another part. And I think the beauty of the whole system is mostly that it builds this trust in society. So really the dialogue builds a society that is also ready for possible crisis in the future, because everybody is on board.
Yes, certainly. Now, to maybe stay on the topic of foreign policy, but maybe a bit more about security, Finland has joined NATO during 2023, and its integration is well underway now in 2025. How does Finland's NATO membership influence its diplomatic posture, not just in Serbia, but in Western Balkans as well?
Yes, of course, this was a huge change for us, really, to join NATO. And this was something that changed the public opinion very much when Russia attacked Ukraine. The Finnish population very quickly was in favor of joining NATO, from have been quite skeptical about whether that was needed or not. They really saw the need to do that, and just in a couple of weeks we were up in over 60% supporting joining NATO, and so it happens, we joined. And this was of course a big change. We don't really think of ourselves as neutral. Before that we talk about non-aligned militarily, because we had joined the European Union, and that's why we didn't really speak about neutrality at that point anymore.
So this collaboration already existed on some levels.
Yes, and of course with NATO especially we had a lot of cooperation already before that, so it was not, in a technical point of view, it was not a very big step. But of course it was a political one, which was caused by the geopolitical changes in the world, and that's why Finland and also the population really saw that we need a change in this.
Course. So this is the main motivator, yeah.
Yes, and for us here, the biggest change is, of course, that the embassy here, from the beginning of this year, we have worked as a contact point embassy for NATO, together with Germany, so we split it with them. And this is, of course, the first time Finland is doing anything like that, so it's been very interesting for us also to be part of this liaison with Serbia about what NATO is today. And that's of course for us, we've been trying, we know of course the history of Serbia and NATO, so it's maybe more of a challenge because of that, but also that's why it's more important here to tell the story about NATO also being a political organization these years, and the way NATO can actually help build stability.
Of course, and Serbia does have its cooperation with NATO on some levels as well, even though it's not a part of NATO, so it's quite understandable.
Yes.
Now, with the global tensions that are rising during 2024, 2025, and it seems the next year as well, we'll have some of them yet still pertaining. How can smaller states like Finland and Serbia in this regard contribute to stability through multilateral diplomacy?
Well, I think small states might actually be very well suited to do that, because for them a multilateral system that is based on a rules-based order in the world is really important. So we are the champions that really should work hard to defend this rules-based order. Bigger countries hopefully as well, but for us it's maybe even more of an existential question. So this is something where we need to work together. We need to be very clear on our goals and the values we stand for, and that we think that they should also prevail in the future.
How do you evaluate Serbia's role in a Nordic-Balkan cooperation in 2025, especially regarding trade and cultural exchange, which is a very important aspect of this cooperation?
Well, we work very closely with my Nordic colleagues here in Serbia. So the 4 embassies here have for years had joint projects promoting things like the green agenda and so forth. Now this year we have a project called Smart Cities. So we are trying to promote the concept of smart cities, which is not only about the technology. We have a lot of technology today that can be used for that, but it's really of the planning process and involving the whole population in how you plan a city, with the aim of making, of course, the city more livable and better for the population in it. And here I think the Nordic countries have a lot of experience and know-how. Yes. We have done this. We are not done with the whole thing. We are still working on it. But we have, for example, one area of Helsinki which is being developed, where the city has given startups the possibility to test new apps and new solutions they want to test. And then you can see, do the apps work, do they not? But and this is also what I spoke about earlier, that you work together with civil society, with the business community, the city authorities, and together you try to find something that makes things better. So these are the things we are trying to promote from a Nordic point of view, and I think really we have a lot to share with Serbia, but not only share. I mean, this is also a two-way street. So we need to work together with Serbia and see where we can learn from each other also.
Of course, certainly. And sustainable development is today even one of the biggest priorities. So this certainly goes hand in hand with that flow. Now, where do you see the biggest opportunities in Serbian economy for Finnish companies that are in our market in this year and the years to come?
Well, what we have been looking at very much at the embassy is sectors like ITC, green solutions, clean tech, some education also, if we can do that, innovation overall. These are all areas where I think we have a lot to give in Finland, and where we have companies looking for new markets. So we are working very much to promote this both here and of course also maybe to sell it a little bit to companies in Finland, because one of our biggest challenges is that Serbia is maybe not that well known in Finland.
Of course.
So we are trying to of course to market that also.
Okay, that's good to hear at least that the work is being done in this regard. Now, Finland is known for its technological innovations, as you mentioned. Could maybe joint projects in AI, clean tech, as you mentioned, or digital education become a new pillar of future Serbian and Finland cooperation, maybe?
Yes, definitely. That would be something we would aim for. And like I said, I think the main key to that would actually be to put companies in contact with each other, both from Serbia and Finland. And I think I should mention one of the things that we are missing, and that's a direct flight from Helsinki to Belgrade.
Okay, so we're still waiting on this. Yes.
This makes a big difference, especially for smaller companies to travel.
Of course. Can we expect maybe changes on this level in the upcoming future?
If it would be up to me, yes. But of course, this is something commercial that the airlines themselves are deciding on. But let's just say that I have been in contact with them, yes.
Okay, that's good to hear, yes. They're the decision makers, but still you're supporting this process from the sides. Now, Serbia's IT exports have actually surpassed $3 billion in 2024, and these are local government data. Do you see this potential further evolving for Finnish and Serbian partnerships in digital industries as well?
Yes, I think this is something where it's worth supporting more Finnish companies to work together with Serbia. We already have a company called Tietoevry here, which is quite a big IT expert in Finland, and they are working on the local market here. So we hope that there would be more of cooperation around this in the future. From the embassy, we have also tried to support startups in Serbia.
Okay,
so really build from the bottom up and try to develop those things. We have the biggest startup conference in the world, Slush, is organized every autumn in Finland. So we have been giving out tickets to startups here
to go there. Hear. So they can go to Finland and present themselves.
Yes, exactly. And apparently it has actually worked very well. And also the science technology parks here have seen the value of that, because they have started funding the same thing themselves now.
That's great. So they're using this model here.
So we are very happy.
Now, Finland also, which is very known for, it ranks among the world's leaders in education and innovation. What cultural or educational exchanges with Serbia in 2025 or 2026, let's say, excite you the most for the future?
Yes, on education, we had a big conference here in 2023, just before I came, actually.
Yes.
So my work has actually focused on follow-up to that conference quite a lot. I would hope that there will be more in the coming years, of course. On the cultural side, we have been quite active. So this year we had two big things. It was 80 years since the first Moomin book was published. So the embassy has been promoting the Moomin stories quite a lot, and also the story about the life of the author, Tove Jansson.
Of course,
so,
yes.
so this is one of the big things we have had. The second one is 160 years since our composer Jean Sibelius was born.
Wow.
So we had a big concert here of Sibelius music and things.
So we had a performance here and our people could attend as well? Or?
Yes, we had it here in the center of Belgrade.
How do you see the tools like these shaping diplomacy, like culture and these events as such?
Well, they are very important. They are very important in that. And that's the way you can actually show your own country, but you can also make the connections to the other countries.
Certainly.
So that it's really a powerful tool. We also chaired the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe this year. And as part of that, we showed a movie about the Helsinki summit in '75. Wow. Now that conference gathered leaders from all over the world. And part of that movie in the beginning is when Helsinki is calling Belgrade. The journalists are calling
so it
Belgrade.
Starts with Belgrade.
So you have these cultural links that you can build on, and that's always something very, very valuable. And what we are looking at now, next year, every second year we have a Finnish Film Week that we show Finnish movies. And now next year we'll have another one, and we are hoping for a lot of audience. Last time we had to put in extra movie times because we could not fit all the
so there's
audience into
the
movies. So yeah,
it's always good to hear. Now for the last question, looking ahead, how do you see the relations of Finland and Serbia evolving in the years to come and during your mandate as well?
I think we have already gotten off to a very good start during my time here. I think we are going to intensify these contacts. Like I said, we have 2 visits of our foreign minister already. Next spring, we already have some plans. They are not public yet, but
so
we
can
will have some visits.
Yes,
definitely. So that's very positive. But I also hope that our very active cultural work will continue, that we will have more Finnish companies. One of the biggest actually this year was when Finnish Mehiläinen, which is a big healthcare provider, bought Medigroup here in Serbia. So there's a big sector opening up in the health services here. So things like this, I of course hope for the future, that we will have more and more here in Serbia.
Of course, it's good to hear that the Finnish presence is here, but there's still room to grow, as you said, and hopefully in the future we do see this ambition come to fruition as well. Yes. Your Excellency, thank you once again for taking the time off your day to speak with us and join us on our show.
Thank you very much.
Našim dragim gledaocima hvala na pažnji. Gledali ste razgovor sa ambasadorom Finske Republike u Srbiji, Niklasom Lindkvistom. Ostanite uz nas jer dalje idu diplomatski događaji i diplomatske vesti.
Maja Stojanović, aktivistkinja i izvršna direktorka Beogradske nevladine organizacije Građanske inicijative, dobitnica je Francusko-nemačke nagrade za ljudska prava i vladavinu prava. U prisustvu brojnih zvanica nagradu su joj svečano uručile Florence Ferrari, ambasadorka Francuske u Srbiji, i Anke Konrad, ambasadorka Nemačke u Srbiji.
Činjenica da danas stojim ovdje i primam ovu nagradu znači da sam tokom života imala prilike i ljude koji su me podržavali. Imala drugačije načine da učim i različite puteve da izgradim svoje veštine. To je bilo kroz različite organizacije, kroz različite inicijative, odnosno kroz građanske inicijative, čijim članovima sam veoma zahvalna. Želim da ovu nagradu podelim sa svima koji nemaju glas, koji su pod pritiskom da nemaju glas, sa svima koji su potkupljeni da nemaju glas. Dok primam ovu nagradu, vidim ljude u romskim zajednicama, u nehigijenskim nasiljima koji su izloženi pritiscima i koje život stavlja u poziciju da praktično glasaju za 1000 dinara. Verujem da ovo nije činjenica koja važi samo za Srbiju, već globalno.
Od 2016. godine, povodom Dana ljudskih prava i univerzalnih principa, Francuska i Nemačka ovom nagradom odaju priznanje predstavnicima civilnog društva širom sveta, koji su dali suštinski i hrabar doprinos zaštiti ljudskog dostojanstva, slobode i pravde. U 2025. godini Maja Stojanović je jedna od 14 nagrađenih.
Draga Majo, više od 20 godina ste aktivni u civilnom sektoru, podržavajući i radeći s organizacijama koje su posvećene zaštiti ljudskih prava, rodnoj ravnopravnosti i promovisanju tolerancije i inkluzije. Kao izvršna direktorka građanskih inicijativa od 2014. godine igrali ste vodeću ulogu u Srbiji u demokratskim procesima usmerenim na jačanje i produbljivanje inkluzivnih demokratskih procesa u Srbiji. Vaša posvećenost principima demokratije i vladavine prava, kao i vaša istrajnost, inspiracija su i ohrabrenje za druge, za sve nas. Potrebni su nam glasovi poput vašeg, posvećeni reformama u oblasti ljudskih prava i vladavine prava, koji su od suštinskog značaja za put Srbije ka Evropskoj uniji.
Pridružujem se čestitkama. Ljudska prava su nedeljiva. Ne postoji i nikada ne može postojati razlog da se bilo kojoj osobi na svetu uskrate njena prava. Ta prava nisu poklon. Ona nisu nešto što vlade velikodušno dodeljuju. Ona su jednostavno vaša. I isto tako pravo da se borite za svoja prava također vam pripada. Za vlade tu postoji jedan veoma veliki zadatak – poštovati, štititi i obezbediti pravni lek.
Svi imaju ista prava i od suštinske važnosti je to imati u vidu prilikom izrade zakona, donošenja propisa, omogućavanja pristupa socijalnim uslugama, obrazovanju za sve u zemlji, bez obzira na to da li je neko bogat ili siromašan, odakle dolazi, kojoj religiji pripada, da li je pripadnik LGBTQ zajednice ili ne, rečeno je na događaju. Jasna Vojnić, predsednica Hrvatskog nacionalnog vijeća u Srbiji i zastupnica u Hrvatskom saboru, održala je u fondaciji Antun Gustav Matoš konferenciju za medije na kojoj je sumirala utiske u 2025. godini, rad, postignuća i položaj Hrvatske nacionalne zajednice u Srbiji, kao i ciljeve i izazove za godinu koja je tek počela.
I sada želim reći nešto što je isto važno da se čuje u Beogradu, a to je da Hrvati u Srbiji nisu problem. Oni su resurs. Mi smo most između dvije države, mi smo susjedi, prijatelji, rođaci, kolege. Mi znamo kako izgleda živjeti ovdje i znamo kako izgledaju europski standardi. Ne želimo rušiti odnose, želimo ih normalizirati. Ne želimo sukobe, želimo pravila koja vrijede za sve. I zato, da budem potpuno jasna, nastavit ćemo upozoravati na govor mržnje, nastavit ćemo tražiti rješenje za Vrtićevu tavankutu, nastavit ćemo govoriti o neravnopravnosti. Ali jednako tako nastavit ćemo pružati ruku, graditi dijalog i pozivati na razum. Jer budućnost Srbije i Hrvatske neće graditi oni koji viču, nego oni koji imaju hrabrosti razgovarati.
Hrvatskoj zajednici će biti dobro u Srbiji samo ako je dobro svim njenim građanima, jer samo zajedno i samo ravnopravni možemo ići prema boljoj budućnosti u zajednici evropskih zemalja, gde nam je svima i mesto, rečeno je na događaju.